How I'm gonna make this broth is a lot like how I used to make like a veal stock or a nice rich like beef broth, beef stock. And we used to take the whole veal shanks, rub them with tomato paste, and then roast those off, and then add veggies, the mirepoix, just like we did here, except we kept them larger, and we would stew this whole thing for like overnight, really, really low simmer. So I want to achieve that depth of flavor, but using mushrooms. I had a special delivery the other day from Harry over at the mushroom farm that we set up, the transition from a chicken farm to a mushroom farm. And he brought me this gift to work with and show what to do with them. But check these out, I want you to see these. They're so beautiful. And I'm very grateful that he brought them down for me to use. This is the mushroom they grew in that old chicken farm. And they're, you know, people ask a lot, like, how do you clean them? And I don't actually clean them much at all, because the only dirty part is going to be on the substrate, and they already have cleaned it here. So this is it. This is where I would trim off this part, and this is how they're selling them in the packages. And I think they're currently being sold in Tesco. There are about 40 different stores. They're available to go anywhere. So if you want their contact, I'll list their website below. In the UK, of course. But check these, how beautiful they are. You know, you get the stem part here that grows onto the substrate. This is a substrate, and this is the mushroom. They would grow off like this, and they just pick it super easy. You have the top side, beautiful brown color. These are the brown oyster mushrooms. Really, really gorgeous. And they just smell so earthy and fresh. It just smells good. It smells delicious. I love it. And then underneath you have the gills. Yeah, and these ones, I let them sit in the refrigerator for a couple days because I was stalling to make this video because I've been slacking. It just takes me a while. It takes me a while to build up the courage to get in front of the camera and to actually cook. And yeah, that's it. I have no excuse other than waiting for a creative spark to hit me, and then I'll jump in the kitchen. Look at these beautiful yellow ones. I normally wouldn't buy the yellow ones. They're so loose that they don't make great steaks, so I tend not to buy them without being able to make a steak out of them. But they are gorgeous. I need to make quick mirepoix. I'm gonna use 2 corn cobs. I just go slow so they don't go all over the place. And there, we got our corn. 1 onion. So I want to keep these a particular size because I have an idea of what I'm going to do with them afterwards. I don't have the full picture in my head right now, otherwise I would say it, but I'm thinking. I'm also going to use celery. Sorry, I'm not going to put too much thought into it. I'm just going to look just like this. If I see any big spots. I am going to be popping these in the oven, so I'm going to preheat the oven to 185 Celsius, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to get started on our carrots. Now I don't like to peel them because a lot of the nutrients are still in the skin. I just wash them really well. They're great. It's one less step I have to do. And I'm just going to take the tips off of these, the ends. But because these are going into a broth, I'm going to save them. I'm just going to add them right to the bowl. And just cut these in half, and then maybe thirds like that. Try to keep them consistently the same size. Some of them just in half. My ideal thought is to keep everything the size that'll fit on a spoon. All right, so next I have some tomato toothpaste. In America, they sell them in cans. Here is the first time I've ever seen them where you can get it in toothpaste. So I'm just gonna use one. I'm just gonna use the rest of this, and it's probably gonna be a good 3 tablespoons. Now for all you no oil people, you don't have to add oil here, but I am gonna roast these vegetables, and they do seem to roast a little bit better, I think, with oil. So you're gonna add a couple tablespoons here, just a pinch of salt, not too much, a little bit of black pepper. After you wash your hands, just get right in there. I wanna rub that tomato paste on as much things as possible so it's evenly distributed. Just spread this out. And what I'm gonna do to make it easier for after the oven, I'm gonna put the corn cobs over here and the pieces that I'll take out. So the celery and then some of these chips to the carrots, because it's gonna be easier to sort out while it's cold, not while it's hot. Next, I'm gonna go bug Frankie. So we're just gonna pick some, this one, this one, this one, 4. Now because I have so many, I'm definitely able to use quite a bit. So you can use regular mushrooms for this recipe, but I obviously have all these to use, and I wanna show you how to use some of these oyster mushrooms. Some of these more chefy techniques, if I could call them that. Because there's no fat in these mushrooms, there's no fat, like very little natural fat, if any at all. So I have here vegan mayo. It's probably about 4 tablespoons. I'm just gonna add this to this. This is just the same bowl I had all those veggies in. Then I have a little bit more. I have another container of the tomato paste. So a little bit of tomato toothpaste. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon, maybe 2. I have a little bottle of red wine, just a little, and I'm just gonna add a tablespoon. So you can see it. So we got that right there. A brush. This is definitely all about building flavors and the techniques of how to actually get the best flavor out of this. If I had a restaurant, again, this is one of the dishes, and this is how I would end up doing it. I'm just gonna slide this over here, and I'll just add it to, and then I'm just gonna paint this. It's just easier. I don't wanna break it all apart yet. I want it to roast. I wanna see how it comes out roasted whole like this. So this is the first time I'm gonna do it, and I'll do it on video, but this is something I've been thinking about, dreaming about, and I wanna see how it comes out. Whoops. If they do fall apart, no big deal. But then just paint the rest of them. So you can see, I'm just brushing it as much as I can. Trying to get the petals, yeah? And then this, get in there. And this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna lay that on top. Same with the yellow one. And what this should do is allow it, by introducing that fat, it'll roast nicely, get a nice brown color is what I'm anticipating. But then also infuse some of this fatty flavor into the mushroom. And it'll be great for stock, and then we can actually use it afterwards, because all this mirepoix that we cut up, I'm gonna add it right to a soup. So maybe this isn't a weeknight recipe, but it's definitely a weekend project, and this is gonna make a lot. Get them the best you can. We're all gonna roast. I'm gonna have one more. The yellow one I'm just gonna rub and use this pan. Try to keep it together. There. Okay, so there it is. My roasted tray, and I'm just gonna pop this right in the oven. This is good. It's just mushroom scraps. Siri, sweetheart, Set the timer for 30 minutes, please. And this gives me the perfect amount of time to clean up what I've already done, just to have everything clean as we go. Still in that whole theme. That's never gonna change for me. And then we'll get into the next bits. You guys were all asking where I get nutritional yeast. So I ordered this size bag online. I don't care about the brand name, don't care. But there's several different ones. This size. I need to make some more Parmesan and some more seasoning soon. This one has B12 in it. I really don't pay attention to it, but I mean, there's no reason why not to get it with B12. But this bag will fill this container, and it's not even halfway empty. This is how much nutritional yeast I go through. So I still have this much. Yum. And best way to keep it is just in an airtight container in a cool, dry place. That's what the directions say. Some people were asking whether or not to put it in the refrigerator. You don't have to keep this in the fridge. Boom. I did not like nutritional yeast when I first had it. I remember making fun of my brother so much about it because I used to call it hippie fish food. Now it's just grown on me so much. I love it and I add it to so many things. And having that extra fortified with B12, it doesn't hurt. You know, if the only thing I have to do is take a couple supplements and not eat animals, why the hell not? Oh boy, I messed up. Big time. Big time in this one. So, because I messed up, I promised Frankie that every time I mess up, when I do this little bit, the dark side of things, I gotta wear whatever I put her in, except whatever will fit me. So the little bear cap fits me. Right? Can kiss? Thank you, yeah. She's enjoying my humiliation here. Anyways, I messed up because I didn't turn the microphone, or I left the microphone over on the other side of the kitchen while I was doing this part. And it's like a couple minutes long. So I super apologize for that. And whatever else I messed up. But this recipe, it's amazing. And I know it probably takes longer than others, but it's a true, like this is some of my process as far as how I will develop food and recipes. Is first I think about it and then I'll play with it. So why not just video that and show you, share with you my process. So if there's any soon-to-be food developers, restaurateurs, or home cooks that just want to play around, this is a good example. Obviously, filming it is a whole new experience for me because I'm used to not filming it and just cooking and jamming away, but taking the time to actually do this camera work. Give me a kiss first. Is new. You're so loud. You're right in my ears. Anyways, I am so sorry that I messed up. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting. I mentioned that there's a few recipes in this video, and it ends up only being one, you know, as you'll see. But each step, like so with the barley, you could cook the barley in this broth. You could just cook the barley ahead of time and have a barley salad and then add the mirepoix. There's all kinds of techniques that are hidden in this that I'll use later on because it'll remind me. But if you can pick them out, you know, I hope they're helpful and I hope this is of support to you. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, I love you so much. Anyways, back to it. Thanks. Barley. This size cup. Look at that. Amazing. Flip these over. Watch them shrunk quite a bit roasting them this way. So it's going to be a total of 45 minutes. Any way I can build flavor and add flavor, I'm going to do it. I got 2 cloves of garlic. Looks delicious. Wow. Barley. Medium high heat. Corn cobs. Whole mushroom. Right into this. Foods. Pretty much filling this thing up. So first I'm going to bring it to a boil, a low simmering boil. I'm going to lower the heat, the garlic, string, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Beautiful. I'm just going to turn this off. It's been cooking away for a little bit. I'm just going to start removing the herbs. So we're not wasting anything. It totally just drips into here. Take out this. And then the mushrooms. Now I didn't stir this much at all while it was simmering for the past half an hour or so. I just let it simmer away. Making sure I just get all the mushrooms. Gorgeous. Look at that. Just gonna taste it. Super deep, delicious. What I want to do though is add some salt because there's really no salt in it. So I'm gonna let this cool down. I'll just set this around over here. I'm gonna add this vegan bouillon. Give it a little bit of a more flavor than just salt. Taste it again. That's more like it. Much better. Still have that corn. I'm gonna add that to it now. Some baby spinach here, big handful. So as that barley soaks it up, it's just gonna soak up the liquid. So it can always add more broth or more hot water to it afterwards, especially if you chill this down in the fridge and then you want it more soupy instead of stewy. Just add a little bit more broth or hot water to thin it out for the more soupy effect. And this is an amazing, super comforting, super healthy barley mushroom steak soup. And you can see that barley is just soaking up that liquid. Crank that up. Let's get that nice and hot. A little bit of oil. A little bit of salt. Then we're just going to sear these off. This is like next level flavor. I'm gonna sear these off like this, probably take a couple minutes. It'll be the most flavorful mushroom steak and barley soup I've ever had. Guarantee. If you do anything like this, you can use regular mushrooms to do this. You don't have to use these oysters. But if you have time and you want to make restaurant quality, this is it. That just reminds me, it just reminds me of like teriyaki chicken, it looks like it. Those mushrooms look fantastic. I am the biggest monkey because I meant to show you how they chopped it up because it was gonna be the beauty shot and frick, I didn't turn the camera on. Should be fired from this job. You're fired. If you can imagine me having to chop them really nicely. I can't wait to try this. It's really just the simple flavors of all those techniques by the roasting, the mirepoix, and then making the broth like fresh from scratch. And I do believe the mushrooms taste amazing. Super meaty and fatty. I'm gonna be doing that again for sure. Wow, delicious. Soup isn't exactly the easiest thing for me to eat with all this facial hair. Anyways, it is delicious. I will write the recipe below. If you like this video, please check out these videos over here. I have a lot in the bank already for you to go. Quick and easy, restaurant quality, high-end, whatever you want. We got them here on the channel. And I gotta go pay attention to Miss America. Oh, and I have a couple more trays of mushrooms to get through, so see you in the next one.